Bright Suns travelers, and welcome. My name is Chris, aka RumblePack92, and you are watching This is the Waypoint, the one and only Star Wars discussion show right here on the Shared Screens Podcast Network. This weekend was a little event called Star Wars Celebrations. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe not. If you haven't, I'm amazed you clicked on this show. That's really cool for you. And I really hope you're about to have a really great time. Yeah, that's super awesome. We thought we'd sit down. I have gathered all of the biggest announcements from the weekend, and we're going to sit down to kind of talk about our general thoughts and feelings on some of the stuff that's coming in the future, because Celebrations is exactly what it says in the name. It's a celebration of all things Star Wars, and a lot of times like Lucasfilm and Arts and a bunch of the film studio heads and all this stuff get together. They get to talk about the process of what it was like making the very thing that we love to sit here and discuss so much. And a lot of times they'll also show off things that are coming in the future. And boy, do we get some spicy announcements this year. Joining me as always, two of my favorite co-hosts in the world, Alec Bobko and some other Josh. How are you today, boys?
Doing really well. Here to celebrate Star Wars with you boys, and I can't be more excited, dude. What a delicious weekend.
Oh my we gosh. Eating, baby. We eating. The running just thread of Rebels fans eating. Boy, are Rebels fans eating this week, let me tell you.
Dude, I know we're probably just Friday when I got the news that trailer dropped for Ahsoka. Like
screaming.
I was at work. And I just dropped everything. I'm like, I don't care if my boss walks by watching me see this. Like, I am watching this trailer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, dude.
I was genuinely so. What's funny is, of course, Celebration was in London this year, and I'm at a point in my life where I was like semi between jobs. I haven't started at my new one yet. I do tomorrow or today as of the upload day, and which meant I had a lot of free time over this last week. So I'd wake up like noon, 1 p.m. and all of the announcements are just out there. And so I get to wake up and just have all of the news ready to go. And so that Friday I woke up at noon and there were all of these huge announcements. I think I just sat in bed for like 3 hours, just like on Twitter and talking to people and reacted. I mean, yeah, when that one trailer that we'll get to came out, I was genuinely screaming. There's one line in particular that we'll get into, but let's go ahead and kick it off. We're going to start with a bunch of film announcements to talk about. My camera's really bothering me. We're going to come this way. So one of the biggest things that I want to announce that I want to talk about is an announcement of a film from James Mangold, who is currently about to release a new Indiana Jones film as well, which is really, really exciting that he's going from Indiana Jones to Star Wars, the first ever director to do both of those, despite the legacy behind those two films. He's the only guy that's done both a Star Wars and Indiana Jones film, which is really, really fascinating. Right. But he's doing a film based around the concept of the dawn of the Jedi, the origins of where the Jedi come from, what the Force is, and how they discovered it, and how they interact with it. And I think that's really, really awesome. Alec, how do you feel about this? What's the hype level on this Dawn of the Jedi film?
I mean, I'm honestly just that point, like kind of like essentially like anything pre Phantom Menace is like just a blind spot, because like I didn't have an original Xbox, so I never played Knights of the Old Republic. No KOTOR. Played a tiny bit of Old Republic, the MMO RPG. So like that kind of era of Star Wars is just a huge blank spot for me. So getting just an actual show or a movie of that would be awesome, just to get kind of like see how the Jedi actually got their start,
which is really cool.
Vast galaxy.
What's really cool in this sense, though, too, is that it's even before those, right?
Oh yeah.
By the time you get to even Knights of the Old Republic, the Jedi and the Sith have been around. Like they're there for a while. This is literally it's like the start of the Jedi, which is really, really fascinating, because so things that we see in other media, like in Fallen Order and stuff, is that even like pre-Jedi, there still were these sort of like religions and civilizations kind of based around like their interaction with the Force and interpretation of it and what it was. And so it'll be cool to kind of see like what other sort of like religions kind of exist around the Force pre-Jedi, What's cool is that back in the old like pre-Disney days, there was a comic series called Dawn of the Jedi, which is why the fans have kind of given that moniker to this film. That is not the name of the film. It is unnamed so far. That did kind of talk about like, I mean, the point of it was like the first Jedi, basically, and I don't think it's going to be anything like that comic series. it was pretty hit or miss back in the mid 2000s, but it is still a cool era to kind of jump into. Josh, thoughts and feelings on the Dawn of the Jedi film?
I'm super excited. I know a lot of people sing this director's praise for Logan. Still haven't seen Logan. The first
Oh yeah, he
movie.
did Logan too, didn't
Stop it
he?
right now. Stop it right now. You gotta
It's
watch
gonna be
it.
I know.
it's gonna be awesome.
I know. I've been catching strays for this for years, dude. Um, but he dropped a trailer for Indy 5 during Celebration as well, and that looked
Which friend of the
fantastic.
show Craig Fox is a star in?
100%.
Yes.
And
Yep.
he threw some shade on stage there with Anthony Carboni. He's like, I do real shit, I don't use the volume, right?
Yeah, he was
Um,
asked like, "What was it like to shoot in the volume?" And he goes, "I didn't use that."
I didn't use it.
Where's
Yeah,
the-
I
He's
do.
like,
I
"We
do
use real shit." Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
quote. We
And so
use
I-
real shit. He said that on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to see what he has to cook up pre High Republic, which is weird because like we just established the High Republic. We haven't even put the High Republic to film yet, like
Mhm.
other than
Mhm.
Acolyte, which we'll get next year. But it's like, okay, well, High Republic's just coming out now, and now we're gonna go even further back. That's an interesting concept. Little hesitant of a writer director role there. I typically prefer my Star Wars as a bit of a collaborative process. Right?
But hey, you
Having a
probably wouldn't be saying
director,
that if you'd
writer.
maybe like seen Logan, and seen like the quality there. You know what I'm saying?
Possibly. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a gamble though.
Yeah.
It's a gamble, right? There have been 5 Star Wars movies with writer directors, and I'd say like arguably 2 of them are good, right? Last Jedi and A New Hope, right? So we're always a little
Yeah,
hesitant on that, but I'm excited to see what he has cooking once this finally hits the theaters.
absolutely.
So,
So,
real
oh yeah, go
quick
ahead.
before we move on, will we see a young Bendu?
That's not something I
No.
thought of. Ooh,
Hmm.
that's very interesting. I guess I don't know how old the Bendu is.
I mean, I just assume like thousands and thousands of
It's
years.
gotta be,
Right.
right?
You don't get that big without being around for a while.
That's a really good
Um,
point. I love it if he's
yeah,
like
I don't know.
small though. He's
Right?
like
Yeah.
tiny,
Like, What was it, like
little
porg
baby
size?
Bendu.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can hold him in the top of your head. It's just like a little creature running around, and like one of these proto Jedi picks him up, and he's like, "I dub thee Bendu." Like can't speak yet. It's like they Grogu Bendu,
Mm-hmm.
Grogu eyes. Speaking of films, we got a lot. We got basically like 3 major films to talk about. There was the first, the second being I think something that we as a fan collective have wanted to see for a really long time. This isn't just like kind of almost like an accomplishment for this director to finally be having their own film, but also for something for us. It's something we've asked for a long time, which is a Dave Filoni directed Star Wars film,
Let's fucking go, dude.
Let's go.
which is amazing. I'm so excited to see
Vindicate.
what he can do with a film, because I mean the guy studied under George Lucas for forever. He's helped pioneer Star Wars animation, which has become like one of the strongest things that Star Wars has now, right? I don't think there's anyone that's like doubting the quality of the animation side of Lucasfilm anymore. And like do just know Star Wars and has been able to show that with animation, along with being one of the showrunners for the Mandalorian and that sort of thing. And so it is a Mandoverse film, where the idea is that this movie is going to wrap up story threads that have been going on within the Mandoverse shows, presumably things from Ahsoka, which we'll talk about soon, and the Mandalorian. And we don't know much about this film yet, other than it's like, yeah, this is going to be the culmination of sort of these plot threads that have been going on in the Disney Plus shows. It is not the end of the Mandoverse either. They have said that the Mandalorian will continue past the film, but it'll just presumably have a new sort of like end goal, or something different's going on there. Yeah. What do you guys think that is going to kind of happen around this film? Like what I mean, given the extremely limited amount of information that we have, I'm betting I'm betting dollars to dimes that Thrawn is going to be the big bad of this film, and that's kind of where we see that plot thread lead to, right?
Right. There's been a lot of criticism lately that the Mandalorian has felt very aimless, and like where are we going week
Which
to
I think
week.
we're all apparently about to eat our words, considering what people have said about the next episode that they got to see, that they showed at the
Literally,
celebration. I saw all that feedback and I went, shouldn't have fucking talked about it on our last podcast, man. God damn it!
I mean,
I
yeah.
immediately proven wrong.
Are you surprised? That's been those episodes this entire season of Mando.
Yeah.
but that's also like shit's been aimless since like season 1. Like it's like,
Yeah.
are we watching the same show here? Like it's always been like,
I think we got a little caught up in this stuff, and I also don't want to say that it's
literally.
bad. I don't think any of it is bad.
Right.
I don't think
just
it's
like,
bad.
where's
I
this
think
going? Yeah.
It's the
Mhm.
same side questy shit we've had for the last 3 seasons, but having something to work towards, I think that's interesting, right?
Mhm.
We know it's
Mhm.
6 to 7 years out. Within that, we can probably, if
There's a few
things
more
line
seasons
up right,
at least.
yeah, we can at least get 3 more seasons of Mando, maybe more Ahsoka, maybe more Book of Boba Fett. Even people love that show, right?
Yeah.
And so to have more of that, but all of it lead and point towards like an Infinity War style film, right?
Mhm.
God, I would love this to be a 2-parter. Honestly, I would love this
That'd
to
be
be,
cool.
you get
Yeah.
Dave Filoni gets part 1, part 2, and it wraps up a lot. And if we do go forward afterwards, right? Like I'd be fine with that. I also wouldn't mind this being like the end point, right?
It's an either or situation for me, I think.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah, either way.
but cool that it's not the end, but we now have something to build towards, I think.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
I agree, especially because it's definitely a pivot from the original idea, which was that there was going to be these multiple like Mandoverse shows. We knew Ahsoka was happening, we knew
Right.
about Mandalorian, and now we no longer have the Rangers of the New Republic. It's clearly getting
Mhm.
folded into the Mandalorian, and that's this film is a ways down the road. There's no reason that there couldn't be another show that also gets kind of folded into this plot thread as well. And they, when all of those things were originally pitched, it was that they were going to kind of like share characters and plot threads, and then eventually have a crossover event. And it's clear
Right.
that they took that crossover and they said, well, what if we made that a movie? Which
Yeah.
Mhm.
great decision, love that.
Yeah.
So, theorizing time.
Let me put
We're
on
not
my
going to see.
theory cap.
I don't think we're going to see Ezra like actually in Ahsoka. We're not going to see him until this movie. We're not going to see him until this movie,
Whoa.
and it's going to
That
be
would be
called The Next Jedi. And it's
That
gonna
would be
Ezra.
a bold choice.
Interesting.
We'll get a tease, obviously, but
Right. Who's Kanan again? I always forget this actor's name. He's like the coolest dude. Is it
Freddie
Freddie Prinze Jr.?
Yeah, Freddie
Mhm.
Prinze Jr.
I
Yeah.
asked, and then I was like, oh, Freddie Prinze Jr.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He was on a podcast saying like
Another
saw
dude
this
that
influ-
understands Star Wars very well, by the way. Yeah.
I think Alec may have sent me this clip, but like Dave Filoni pitched him the Mandalorian like way before the Mandalorian, and so once he saw that, he's like, "Oh shit! Like I know kind of what this is building towards." Like Filoni's already like
Mhm.
had this, right? Like has thought about this, and so
Like he's had this since like beginning of Rebels is essentially
right.
Yeah, like clearly this is a long time coming.
And so building towards a massive conflict with Mandalorians, with Ahsoka, like the possibilities out there are incredible. And
Oh,
my
yeah.
god, I would love it to be Thrawn, the big baddie, right? And in terms of how we get Ezra and and Luke in there, like that's gonna be interesting. Do we even bother with going like getting Luke in there, right? Like
Mhm.
do we get
I don't
Ben
think
Solo?
there's
Like,
no way
what are
we
doing?
don't get Luke in there, considering how
Right.
much we've already seen of him, right?
Yeah, it's oh my god, I can't wait. This is
It's
like
it's
this is-
exciting and feels like very
Oh, yeah.
like classic expanded universe kind of stuff too, which is really really cool.
Yeah.
And I mean, Filoni's a big EU guy. A lot of people like to clown on Disney's decision to kind of nix the old expanded universe, but I mean, don't sleep on Filoni, man. Dude knows what he's doing.
right, 100%. Yeah, let him cook. Let him cook.
Let the
I-
man
I-
cook,
I
bro.
can't
Are you
wait.
kidding
I
me?
can't wait. Yeah.
He's like Grease with his 4 arms in there, just putting salt on shit, cooking,
Oh, yeah.
baby. Let
Oh,
him
yeah.
go. The next film announcement, I think, is the one that excites me the most. This
Yes.
is the one
Same.
that I'm looking forward to, because in this house we are sequel trilogy fans, right? In this house,
Yes.
we love Daisy Ridley's portrayal of Rey Skywalker, and boy, Charmaine
Fuck
eventually
yes.
announced that they're having a new Jedi Order film starring
Fuck
a Jedi
yes, dude.
Master Rey.
Yes.
Are you kidding me,
Absolutely.
bro? Woo!
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm right there. I fucking ride or die for the fucking sequels, right? I love those movies so goddamn much. And we heard rumors about this last year, right? And then
Remember when
less than a month
Daisy Ridley went to Lucasfilm to have lunch with friends, and she's like, "Nah, we're doing anything." They were fucking doing stuff.
we got rumors, right? And then like less than a month ago, it was reported that it lost its lead writer. And like me and the sequel fandom went ablaze on Twitter of like, holy fuck, this movie's in development hell. What is happening? Oh my god. And
Mhm.
so for not only like Bob Iger is at the realm, right? He's made it clear we want to pick movies that we are excited to make, right? We want to course correct what we were doing with anthology stuff, and we want to have good movies back. And
Mhm.
so for him to be back and for the director to be on stage and bring Daisy Ridley out, and we gotta. I think the new writer is Peaky Blinders. The
Yes.
old one was the newest Watchmen series and some lost stuff and Prometheus. So it's like maybe it's a good thing we got him out. But official confirmation, fuck yes. Now go dump money bags on John Boyega's fucking front door, on
Please.
Yes.
fucking Oscar Isaac's front door, on
Okay.
everyone. Get everyone back.
I'm so glad you
Please, for the
said
love of
that
God.
because I want, nay, need to see Jedi Knight Finn. It has to
Yes.
happen. You
100%.
can't. I don't think you
yeah.
can bring back Daisy Ridley and not also bring back John Boyega and give to the fans what we've wanted since the very first teaser of
Mhm.
the Force Awakens, which is Finn as a Jedi, and it's clearly something that they set up at the end of the Rise of Skywalker as well, and
Right.
yeah,
Mhm.
I'm excited for this, man. What a great concept
Yeah.
to kind of get that again, that old expanded universe storyline of rebuilding the Jedi Order and do those things. And I know that we technically did have that with Luke Skywalker, but it looks like they're kind of taking a lot of these inspirations from old expanded universe, and rather than putting that on Luke Skywalker, who's got new things to do now, again with
Right.
Filoni, which is really exciting, and shifting that to Rey a bit, and
Mhm.
yeah, the possibility
Yeah.
of that. It's like, are the Sith gone? Who's the antagonist here? Like, what other
Yeah.
Jedi are we going to see?
Or is it purely just
Do they bring
I
back
say is
Ben
it purely just
Solo?
right? Or is it purely just building up a Jedi Order? Like just
Right.
the struggles that go along with that.
But
Like because you could
like,
almost
go for it.
I was just saying, because being that's what he said 15 years after Rise of Skywalker,
Right.
like you could almost have if she needs to build a whole Jedi Order, I mean, you could have a smaller temple, but she's gonna need somebody to help run it. So she could be training Finn,
Right.
you know.
It's
Please.
see
Please.
because it's a pretty poignant moment like in The Last Jedi, like you go like it has to balance out, right? Like if the
Mhm.
light rises, the dark has to rise to meet it. So
Mhm.
like I think we
True,
will
yeah.
get some Sith in that. Like it has been pointed out to us, right? So I'm interested to see like the most what that conflict is, right? But yeah, absolutely. And like final like I remember when Hayden and Ewan were doing press like coverage for Obi-Wan, being like the sequel actors are going to get the same love like 15 years down the
Oh
line.
yeah.
I like that it's happening as a sequel boy myself. I like that it's happening a lot sooner. The final
Mhm.
word, I think the final clip we saw from John Boyega on this topic too was like, "You're not going to Disney Plus me, right? I'm not
Yeah.
going towards a series. I like
Mhm.
He's
I
like,
want proper
movies are
treatment." And
bust.
so it's like
Yeah.
literally, and so it's like now's the time to rectify this. And I honestly I would love this to set up episode 10. I don't think this will be episode 10. I know there's some speculation. I think we're not done in the core saga, but if this set up an episode 10 and we take what this movie builds and we fucking run for an episode 10, that would be like
All right.
my perfect outcome.
Another hot take. We don't need an episode 10. Just
I'm
the end of
actually-
episode
I think
9.
we do.
Be
I
I'm with
done.
think
you
we
on that.
do.
I'm with you on
I
that.
think we
No,
do.
I don't think we need more numbered movies.
No,
in
double
fact,
digits.
at this point, it is a standalone film.
Skywalker Saga is done.
Yeah, I think at this moment it is a standalone film, even if they do a sequel to it or a trilogy for it or
Right,
whatever.
yeah.
I don't think it needs to be a numbered film. You
You-
have those 9. That's the story. There they
This-
are, and then you can
yes.
move outward from there.
You have, that's why it says from a galaxy far, far away. Where we have a galaxy.
And
Stop
we're exploring that galaxy, but we're gonna start getting back to that mythos. To
Stop
the
using the
Skywalker-
same family. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they can still
Not the same
be in
family,
the
technically.
movies.
So a nice thing that will kind of help you like ease over that too is that they also did make a small announcement that all films will have title crawls now. Every
Hell yeah.
Star Wars
Okay,
film will
okay.
have title crawls in, and they're no longer saving those just for saga films. So Rogue One and Solo will continue to be the only films without them, because all three of these films
Will
that we
they
just mentioned, the
retroactively?
Filani, the Dawn of the Jedi, the new Jedi Order one, they're all going to have title crawls. I kind of hope they don't. I like that Solo and Rogue One are a little weird, right?
Honestly-
they're kind of off.
Give me a title crawl, charge me full price for a ticket, and I will go watch the director's cut of fucking Solo. And with
Oh,
the
yeah.
title
That's
crawl.
valid. Yeah,
Get it
no,
right.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
Which, moving into Disney Plus news, on the topic of Solo, we did get some hints that the Lando series might still be on its way. Please bring back Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo.
Please.
He was really, really good. We all
Mhm.
love that film
Yep.
here, and we very much want to see that continue. But moving on to what I think is probably the biggest Disney Plus announcement is Ahsoka, or as the fans call it, it's Rebels season 5 is what it is, because
Yep.
we got to look at live action Hera, Chopper. We've seen Zeb in
Sabine.
The Mandalorian. We got to see Sabine Wren in an extended celebration only cut. We see Sabine Wren holding Ezra's lightsaber and fighting the new character Shin with it as well, which is really, really awesome. I think this show is going to be absolutely, dude. Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah.
See all of the celebration exclusive stuff. Unfortunately, Disney, I'm afraid that fan cams with phones will be quite operational by the time your exclusive trailers arrive.
I learned from the last celebrations and to watch them as soon as somebody sends me that link.
Immediately. I tried looking for the Andor season 2 trailer on YouTube earlier, and it's already been nuked everywhere.
Yep.
TikTok,
But
man. All you have to do is literally the 15 minutes before recording this, I just put in Bad Batch season 3 on TikTok, and it's like, oh, there it is.
Oh, hey, look at that.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, you may take down YouTube. TikTok is too big, motherfuckers.
You can't stop the millennials, dude. I'm telling you, man.
Unless Congress gets to it first.
But yeah, we're getting the culmination of the Rebel story finally, and it almost feels like that Clone Wars season 7 moment, right? To where it's like, yes,
Yeah.
we're getting the answers. Like it's like we're finally going to have that end cap on something that we've loved and followed for a really long time, and it's so cool that it gets to happen in live action. Of course, Filoni's directing this as well.
Is
big
he
time
director and
it.
writer? Is he on every episode though?
I
Or
don't.
is it
No, he's not on every episode. They did release
Okay,
the director's
okay.
list. He's
Yeah.
doing a couple episodes, and I saw Rick Famuyiwa and a couple other people are involved as well. No, no Bryce Dallas, unfortunately.
Damn.
But there
Even
is a
if he's
really
just
really
like writer on
Yeah.
them all. Like that's all I need.
yeah. He's showrunner on it. He's directing a few of them,
Mhm.
and then they got a few new people and a few Mando alum as well involved in it.
Fuck
It's a really really stacked cast. There's a lot of people I don't remember off the top of my head who they all are, but it looks great. I think this concept is going to be bonkers. We get to see like 2 Sith characters in what looks like the fucking Fallen Order meditation point world between worlds shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The extended one even showed like the Purgle at the very end, which was really
Yes.
really rad. Yeah, I mean,
Got some interesting lightsaber colors.
We're getting
The orange, yeah.
they're red orange. They are orange, and it's intentional. I will die on this fucking hill. And I think I just lost my point. What the hell were we talking about? We were talking about Ahsoka. Oh yeah, it's that we get Thrawn in live action finally, as played by
Yes,
Lars Mikkelsen,
yes.
confirmed, which is incredible. Who
Thank
voices him in the show?
goodness.
And they name dropped Heir to the Empire in the middle of the trailer. That's what I was
Yeah.
screaming in my apartment. I was like, she said it! They said it! So I was losing my mind.
Mhm.
We've already had little bits of plot from Heir to the Empire sprinkled over in other things, namely Bad Batch, where we straight up have been to Mount Tantus a number of times. I'm glad that we already immediately got confirmation that the Sith dude is not in fact Jorah Saboth, which should stay in expanded universe.
Right.
And yeah, I think this looks incredible. I'm sure you guys are just as hype on it as well.
Oh yeah.
Mm,
August
I'm
can't come
thinking,
soon enough. Disney Plus already also updated. They have like a whole best of like an Ahsoka Tano essentials. If you don't want to
mhm.
binge seven, I think you should binge 7 seasons and then 4 more of Rebels, right? But if you can't, if you want the TLDR, it is on Disney Plus. Get that
Yep.
shit watched before August.
Or at least Rebels. Like you have 4 months. There are 4 seasons.
I am curious to
That too.
see how they approach this. With a lot of people watch the Disney Plus live action shows. Not a lot of people
Yeah.
watch Rebels or really Star Wars
Yep.
Yeah.
animation, except for super nerds like us. And so I am curious as to how they present these plot threads that have been going on for like 8-9 years
Yeah.
uh, to new
I
audiences, and how much it relies on that.
I think what they will do is similar to Obi-Wan. Like when you booted up Kenobi, it gave you that
You get the
masterful cut,
trailer.
like retelling
Oh
the
yeah.
prequels, right? I think they will do the same thing with the animated shows. I think you will get a super cut of kind of like all the essential moments, the greatest hits in probably a minute long thing, similar to how they condensed the prequels down to a minute for
Hmm.
Kenobi. They'll do that with the shows here, and I honestly do think retroactively, like viewership is going to be up on the animated shows once this drops because
Oh,
hopefully
for
this
sure.
does just
Like, yeah, I need more
like,
information.
especially if you grab like the essential moments. If you grab Vader, like Vader and Ahsoka putting like
Oh
connecting the dots that
yeah.
they know each other. If you put that in a supercut recapping this show, dude, you are gonna get Rebels fans. You're gonna get new people in the
Imagine we
fucking
get all
fold,
those
baby.
moments in a recap video like that, but they've taken all of these moments that were previously animated and they shot them in live action
Oh
specifically
my god,
for a
dude.
recap.
Oh
Can you
my god,
fucking
dude.
imagine?
Holy fuck.
Man,
I mean, we already know Hayden Christensen's like been in the suit for
I
And
mean,
Ahsoka, right? Like that's been heavily
recreated a
rumored.
similar
has
moment, right? I
recreated
mean,
that.
it's
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Literally.
it's just cut it together. As
So
Oh yeah.
quick side tangent. I was before we started recording, I was telling you guys I was able to, Sunday morning watch the streaming time for the Kenobi panel.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they all like brought some of their favorite scenes from the show, and Hayden Christensen's was that fight between
God
Kenobi
damn.
and Vader at the end. And
Peak of
then
the
just
series.
just get that moment where it's like, you see his face, and you get the fade from blue that fades away, and you get the red that shows up,
Yeah.
and it's like, you didn't kill him, I did. And
Yeah.
it's just one of those, it was just it's just cinema.
Performance of Hayden's career, man, for
Oh
sure. Like, he
yeah.
came in there and he just fucking ate, and I love that show. And that whole scene, I rewatch
I had
on YouTube
chills
all
that
the
entire
time.
time.
It's
Yeah.
just it's incredible. So moving through some more of these announcements a little quicker, just because we have a lot less information on them. We did
Mhm.
well, Celebration got to see a trailer for the High Republic based series, The Acolyte, which comes out, I believe, next year. I've also seen
2024.
it.
Yep.
Thank you, TikTok, very much. I have seen at least about a minute and a half of the trailer or so,
I
which
did
looks very
not
cool.
track this one down.
It's
I'm
very
excited.
cool. It's really
I'm
cool.
excited.
They brought a Wookiee Jedi out on stage, which is really
Fuck
really
yeah.
rad, played by Eunice Sutamo, and he got to talk about what it was like to play a Wookiee with a lightsaber, and that's really cool. This does take place
Nice.
5 years, I believe, prior to sort of like the end of the High Republic era, which ends
Right.
not too long before the end of the Phantom Menace. So we'll likely see Yoda in there because
Mhm.
he was around. We got to see this really really cool action sequence in there between. I mean, the Sith are still in hiding at this point. So whatever this dark Jedi cult is that's kind of come out, like fighting
Right.
this one Jedi in this really cool like unbroken action shot. Like there were no cuts of all of this like almost like kung fu shit. Didn't even take out his lightsaber and doing all this like really cool force stuff. That was really really
Yeah.
interesting. It's
Cool.
a cool part of the Star Wars timeline that yeah has only existed in print media so far. It's only
Oh, yeah.
comics and novels, and
I
finally
was
getting
Mhm.
a TV series out of that is going to be awesome.
I was gonna say, yeah, as someone who can't read, I can't wait to finally see High Republic visualized, you know?
Well, my name is Tyler. I'm
Yeah.
17 years old. I never fucking learned how to
Never
read.
fucking learn how to read. Exactly. This is probably my most anticipated show. I think after Ahsoka,
Yeah.
because just the
Yeah.
recency of Ahsoka, right? But like afterwards, I can't wait to see more High Republic shit.
Yeah, especially
Yep.
because I mean, you can get into some like weird Jedi shit, and I love when Star Wars is weird Jedi shit, and so
And plus,
I'm
just the
overall
new
hyped
cast of
for it.
characters right off the rip. We don't need to be doing cameos galore. Just introduce
Yeah.
us to some cool
What is
shit.
also cool is that they have said it's like though these High Republic novels and stuff do take place like a pretty significant amount of time before the Acolyte takes place. There are a couple characters
Mhm.
from the novels and comics that will be around that can kind of like have you can still have those moments of like, oh, this is this character. So there are a few that are going to be introduced that way as well.
Oh, that's cool.
But it is mostly new characters, which is really awesome. I'm not too
Dope.
familiar with the High Republic. I've only read one of the books so far. I've been really behind, but there was one character announcement that I saw a lot of people on Twitter like really popping off for. They're like, "Oh my god, like this character from the novel is going to be in the show," and so I think that's really cool.
Dope.
The other I think just behind my hype levels on Disney Plus series, just behind the Acolyte, is Andor season 2, which Celebration and also
Yes.
myself on TikTok also got to see a new trailer for. And I mean, we
Yes,
we know
sir.
where this is heading. Gilroy said multiple times, Rogue One is the finale of Andor, and some new information that we got that I really like is that it's going to continue that same flow that season 1 had, where every 3 episodes it's kind of like its own like
A
structured
little
like
That's
mini
story
arc.
arc.
awesome.
Yeah,
Dope.
but this time, because there's still 5 years between the end of season 1 and the beginning of Rogue One where it ends, each of those three story arcs takes place within a different year. So you'll have the first one, and then
Oh,
the
okay.
next 3 episodes will be the following year, and then the next 3 episodes the year after that, and eventually it's going to end where Rogue One starts, which is very cool.
Dope.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think we all loved Andor around here.
Yeah.
They really made something special, and I have absolutely no doubt that season 2 will be just as good.
That Luthen monologue,
Chills.
when they're like up in the thing, like that came across my For You page a week or so ago. I had to repost it just because, like, legitimately, we got 2 of the best monologues in Star Wars in one
Oh, yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to all the cosplayers at Celebration dressed
Yes.
in the Narkina 5 outfits, running around yelling "One Way Out." That was really cool.
Dope. Yeah. No, of course it's filmed off of somebody's iPhone. Didn't see no K2SO in the teaser, right? Still
Yeah,
waiting to see my boy.
they're keeping that under
Mm.
wraps.
Close to the
which-
chest. Yeah,
Yeah.
man. But my God, I can't wait to see. Can't wait to see that.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
eventually
all
come
going to
up.
be great. There's literally nothing that I dislike about Andor. It was perfect, and I just
Yeah.
want
Oh,
more.
yeah.
Another kind of short thing. It's not necessarily an announcement. I don't know whether there was a secret trailer or not for this one, but we did get to see Jude Law come out and introduce the cast for Skeleton Crew, which is really exciting. A sort of Goonies in space. You have a bunch of kids trapped on a ship with Jude Law, who is a Jedi, which they confirmed this
Oh,
weekend
cool.
as well,
Interesting.
which is really interesting. Yeah, I don't remember where this show takes place in the timeline. It's been a little while
thought
since
it
I've looked
was
at the actual
s-
details.
I think it's post Return of the Jedi as well.
I think it is
like
Mandoverse,
That
a lot
sounds
of
familiar.
yeah.
Yeah.
which this could also
I-
again be something that affects Filoni's film
Yeah.
later too, because Filoni is involved with the Skeleton Crew.
100%. The I did hear that people got to see. I think maybe they showed like little scenes or
Some
snippets, but like
stills. Yeah.
Yeah.
stills. Yeah, some stuff was shown. They're doubling down on a 2023 date. I will fucking believe that when I see it. We have a logo treatment and a screenshot of Jude Law.
And that's it.
Like unless like
Apparently-
it's
One of the stills, I think I did see either a TikTok or a YouTube short. One of the like there's like some like kind of human children, and I think there was like maybe 1 or 2 aliens, and one of the aliens was the same species as Max Rebo.
Hell
Fuck
yeah.
yes.
Let's go.
Let's
All right, I'm
fucking
in.
go.
10 out of 10.
Literally.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I think this might end up being like a December case where we are going to start it in December
Yeah.
and finish it out February, similar to
Yep.
Book of Boba Fett type.
I wouldn't be
beat,
surprised
but,
if we get a like a teaser or something around like May 4th.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
literally that or like D23 later in the year. There's
Yeah,
still
good
there's
point.
still time.
Mhm.
John Watts MCU trilogy, arguably the best MCU
yeah.
trilogy with Spider-Man, and so bringing him to Star Wars. My God, I can't wait to see what he's got
Yeah.
cooking up.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think he's gonna make something special. And also, I really like Jude Law as an actor. He's
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
big fan of like the Sherlock Holmes films.
One of the better parts of Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that's a great point.
100%.
That's a great point.
Kind of carried that film, yeah.
Another one that I know that I think we're all really excited about was just kind of the confirmation that we are getting a season 2 of Tales of the Jedi, which is really fun.
Yes.
They announced that it was like on the 15-year anniversary panel for Clone Wars, and Filoni even talked about how the origin of it was that he was like, while he was traveling and shooting all these different shows and doing all these things, that he would just have little sketches and little stories that he'd come up with, and then eventually approach somebody. It was like, what if we animated these, had like a little mini series? And something that he said on the panel was that he's like, the job of a Jedi is to pass on what you have learned. And so now he's
Right.
taking Tales of the Jedi as an opportunity to bring in new directors to continue Star Wars animation
Perfect.
for him, to kind of do what George Lucas
That's
did for
awesome.
him, and
Mhm.
essentially, yeah, be a Jedi master to these apprentices, which is really cool. But I have one question, just real quick. Who would you like to see appear in Tales of the Jedi?
So right off the rip, Filoni, look at me, eye contact, right?
Give him the
We don't
one,
need
Chris.
Ahsoka. We don't need Ahsoka. All right, she's the
Please no more
focal
Ahsoka.
point of 3 animated shows. She's appeared in 2
Mhm.
live action shows. She's getting her own show. Please, for the love of God, I love Ahsoka Tano, but my God, we are getting a
Mhm.
lot of fucking Ahsoka, and like, we had some very poignant emotional moments over the last couple years with her, especially at end of season 7 of Clone Wars. We do not need Ahsoka Tano as in Tales of the Jedi. 100%.
Yeah,
Uh,
Mhm.
right off the
I'm with
rip.
you
To
on that.
answer your question though, I mean, I stay riding that Ben Solo train. All right,
Yep.
Ooh, yeah.
give me the fall of Ben Solo, like turning to the Knights of Ren. I know it's a Marvel comic book, right? We
Who
can adapt
cares?
that story into
Good shit.
animation.
Part of
Mhm.
Ahsoka's episode in
Later.
Tales of the Jedi was an adaptation of the Ahsoka novel.
Right,
Yeah.
like please, Ben Solo, and I know we've already seen Anakin's fall to the dark side. You could intercut it with that, with his grandfather. You could intercut it with anyone else who fell to the dark side. But give me some Ben Solo shit, please. 100%. Also, shout out Aaron Roots
Or ooh,
for suggesting Ahmed
Kelleran
Best's
Beck.
recent character, Kelleran
yeah.
Beck, the
Kelleran
Saber
Beck, the
Hand.
savior
Yeah,
hand, which is my
that would be
answer.
dope.
Yeah, yeah. Aaron threw that out there, and I went, yeah, that's the right answer. That's who I want to see in the show. Alec, what
What
about you, man?
if? So I just had the thought, kind of like, because we kind of had like the two sides. You had Ahsoka and Count Dooku.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Uh, what if with the I'm just thinking the whole Ben Solo thing. What if with him you get like some tales of Darth Vader, kind of like
Oh,
between
that'd be fun.
I
Sith
fuck with
and A
that
New
big
Hope.
time. 100%, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really
Intercut
cool.
like kind of early Vader, like post like Revenge of the Sith, pre A New Hope.
Mhm.
Intercut that with like
Yeah,
Kylo Ren's inner, like his first couple years,
yeah,
almost like a Kylo Ren year one type beat with a Darth
hmm
Vader year one type beat.
yeah.
Oh my God, 100%, that would be fantastic. But yeah, even like Keller Beck intercut with like Luke at his school
hmm
training, and then Luke and Ben
Yeah.
Solo
Oh,
that
that'd be
way.
so
I'd
sick.
be perfect with all that shit. But like, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what they got coming.
Yeah, man, let them cook.
hmm
Sticking with animation news, of course, we got the announcement that, of course, Bad Batch season 3 is coming, and it is the final season of this show. How do we feel about Bad Batch wrapping up?
Um, honestly, I'm fine with it. I don't want to do another 16 episode season if this is gonna be the last one, right? Like
hmm
let's get it down to 10, right? We can do the 2 episode premiere, the 2 episode middle season, right, and then 2 episode finale, right, and then intercut it with some stuff that's all leading towards one massive arc. I know a lot of it, a lot of times it feels like filler. That word gets tossed around a lot, right? If we can start trimming the fat off, have like just a final
Like
story here,
a more focused final
more
season.
focused story. Yeah,
hmm
we're told that Wolf is gonna get introduced here, and that it's wrapping up. One of the quotes that's getting picked around online is it's wrapping up because it's the final part of this story. So there might still be something larger out there, right? A lot of the
hmm
fans have thrown around um, Clone Rebels, right?
Right.
Right, getting more Wolf, Cody, right, Rex, with the Bad Batch as well. They could continue on in a different show. That would be interesting. But yeah, I do like the idea of putting the pin on the Batch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I always like it when a story, especially a TV show, kind of has a dedicated, hey, this is the story that we want to tell, and we're going to end it in this
Mhm.
time. It's a similar thing that we got going on, like with Ted Lasso, outside of the Star Wars thing, right?
I
To where
was
they
just
came
gonna
and
say
said
that, yep.
they were like, hey, we wrote 3 seasons of this, and that's what we're going to do, and I think that's very clearly what Bad Batch kind of has going on as well. So I'm not mad at it. I would like to see something a little more focused. I think season 2 did a better job of kind of keeping that a little bit than season 1
Mhm.
did. But
Yeah.
I mean, I love Bad Batch. I'll watch whatever
Star
they
Wars
make in
comfort
that
food.
regard. It's just it's been enjoyable the whole ride down. And so while I'm sad to see it end, I would rather see it end than it go on for too long. I'm in the middle
Yeah,
of a How I Met
100%.
Your Mother rewatch, and
Yep.
speaking of shows that went on too long.
Yeah.
The final animation news, of course, is we got a nice little sizzle trailer for Visions Volume 2, which looks hot,
Baby.
Oh, so good.
hot.
Oh yeah.
So much.
Shout out
I am a
to
sucker for stop motion animation, and they had some of that in this trailer, and it looks so good.
yeah, it's the studio that did the Wallace and Gromit films.
Oh
Okay.
shit.
In
Fuck
fact,
yeah.
there's a Wallace and Gromit Glup Shido. To
Oh my
where
gosh.
Fucking
the fridge
god.
robot in the episode where they go to the moon for cheese, the fridge robot can
Mhm.
be seen in the background of one of the shots in the trailer,
Oh
which
my
I was like, "Fuck
gosh.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude, let's go!" That's so awesome. But also shout out to Studio Mir, who animated. I mean, maybe you've heard of it. This little show called Avatar: The Last Airbender. They
Never
have an
watched it.
episode as
Yeah.
well. What have you watched?
Star Wars. That's about it.
Star Wars, bro.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Oh,
A good
goodness.
amount of them seeing,
But
you know.
one of the first art styles that they showed, they showed like some Sith, walking in, and then you see a Jedi with a yellow lightsaber. And to me, it's like it kind of looked like it was that style. I couldn't tell because of the animation, but it kind of looked like it had that style of the dark saber. Like it was almost a little curved.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was a
Interesting.
curved blade. It looked like to me. I believe that one is from. I don't remember the name of the studio. I believe it's from a Pakistani studio, which is really really cool. And so yeah, it
Mhm.
kind of introduced the curved bladers. But also when they'd swing it, it had like this really cool like paintbrush kind of look to it, to where you could see
Yeah.
like the brush
Like
strokes
that
into
art style is
the
probably my
blade.
favorite from the trailer.
Just
Oh
super
yeah.
rad.
Yeah, I loved like we're expanding the horizon in terms of the studios we're in like allowing
Mhm.
to work on this, which I think is fantastic, and I would honestly love to see this just kind of like a every other year type
Yeah, just
thing,
more.
right? Yeah, we're just more
Like it
more
was
studios, more people getting their hands in Star Wars.
it was
Go
just
for
a
it, Alan.
fun night for when Volume 1 came out. I think
One hundred
just binged
percent.
through all of them because they're all like 15 minutes or less. So
Yeah.
there's
Literally.
8 of them, so you could binge them all in a night, and like that's just a fun couple hours.
And then, not a shadow drop, but May 4th release date, like such quick turnaround. We were
Very
Oh
waiting
cool.
like
yeah,
3 weeks for that. Like fantastic.
after finishing Survivor.
Which I'm glad
Literally.
you brought
Congratulations.
up, because the final thing on my list today is we got the final trailer for Jedi
So good.
Survivor, and whoo, boy, was that a spicy
S-
trailer! That Mamma
Speeder
mia,
bike
that's a hot
Cal.
meatball.
Speaking of shit, I haven't watched. Haven't watched this. I said
Oh.
it. I said it during our game awards teaser.
Mhm.
Like when that game was
Oh
still
yeah, yeah,
scheduled
yeah,
for
yeah.
March, I was like, we are 3 months out. Right, it got delayed. Where we were then, it got delayed a month, right? But I was still at the time. I was like, it's 3 months. I can wait.
Yep.
I don't need more. I didn't watch the last story trailer. I haven't watched this trailer. What I did watch was a super cut someone put together on TikTok of Cameron Monaghan, just memeing
Talking about
about
ponchos.
ponchos the entire live stream.
To
I
get the
thought
point,
that
I was
was
I was watching that with
fantastic.
my wife, and at one point she's like, "Shut up about the poncho." Oh my god, it's a solid like 15 minutes of him being like, "Okay, but what about the poncho?"
But
And even I was like, "Okay,
yeah,
all right."
which
Mhm.
I
I love
think
that he
I
gave
think
it
he's
to
having
a Cal Kestis cosplayer though too. That was really cool.
Yeah.
right. I think he's just having fun because it's like Star Wars projects are so like
Secretive.
under wraps,
Yeah.
right? And so I think
Mhm.
He
right.
came in there, he leaned into a community joke, and that was really fun.
Yep.
Oh yeah, 100%. And yeah, with the I think Gamescom trailer for Fallen Order, spoiling Darth Vader was in the game, like
So
2
so I'm
weeks
glad you
before the
mentioned
game
that
came out.
because
That's why I still
I'm
have
glad
yet
you mentioned that
watched.
because I have watched all of the trailers and I could not tell you what the story of this game is. They are
Yep.
playing it close to
Fuck
the
yeah,
chest this time around, man. The only thing that
dope.
we know is we are going to Coruscant at some point. There's a shot in the new
Not
trailer
playable,
of
or it playable, but not explorable.
Explorable.
somebody.
Interesting.
Yeah, there was a misquote to where it's like Coruscant is fully explorable. I was like, well, it's a level in the game. Like,
Right.
relax, it's
Right.
not an open world. It is a level in the game that
You
that
go
you
to
will play in.
13,
Like
14.
one of the devs like came out and like quoted the misquote about it and be like, no, that's not what we
Yeah,
said.
they had to be like,
I'm
hold
like,
on,
Yeah.
wait, because and I've unfortunately I've seen the corrected quote once, and I've seen the misquote a million
oh
times.
yeah,
So I'm like, oh
yep.
boy, people are gonna be mad
So
at this
everybody's
later.
setting out expectations.
Yeah, people are
Yeah.
gonna be mad at this when the game comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we know we get to go to Coruscant. There's a shot in the trailer showing the Jedi Temple turned into the Imperial Senate or the Imperial mansion. I don't remember what it's called. Palpatine's
Mhm.
house. We get to see that. Um,
Dope.
there's some footage of Cal fighting droidicas, which is really cool. I love the destroyers on what appears to
Damn.
be
Mhm.
a Trade Federation ship as well. It
Yeah.
looks like the same hallway from the beginning of Phantom Menace, which is really really rad. We get a bit of footage of Cal fighting that Gendai enemy that we've seen in the other trailers before, the really tall purple one. Yeah, it all just looks really, really good. There's also a great bit where Cal's on a swoop bike fighting a scout trooper. He punches him in the face, uses the force to throw him up, and throws him into the windshield of an incoming TIE fighter, which is really fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That is the one clip I've seen, and I'm like, oh my god, dude, this looks fantastic.
And they did
2
show
weeks out, injected into my fucking veins, bro.
just
Yep.
hardwire, just let it go.
Literally.
It's the first time that we've seen in an official like trailer capacity some limb dismemberment as well. Unfortunately, a stormtrooper was forcibly removed from one of his legs. Poor guy probably just was ready to get out, just working his shift, ready to go home, see his wife, and then here comes Cal Kestis. But yeah, game looks
Yeah.
great. I think we're all really really excited about it here, and
Just pre-ordered it. Got the deluxe edition so I can get the
hell yeah, get you that Luke Skywalker outfit, the Han
Mhm.
Solo, the Obi-Wan Kenobi. Woo! It's gonna be a good game, y'all.
yeah.
It's gonna be a real good game. We're all huge fans of Fallen Order around here, and this is at the very top of my most anticipated games list. Everything that we've seen about it from a gameplay perspective, from a story perspective, just looks off the walls, unreal. This it feels like the God of War Ragnarok to God of War 2018, right? Like to where it's like, hey, we're taking everything that the first game did and improving and making it better.
I see. I'd almost say this is like an Assassin's Creed to an Assassin's Creed 2.
Ooh,
Like,
that's a good way to put
this
it.
is
Ooh,
this
yeah.
is my because for the most part, a lot of Ragnarok is still 2018, right? It's just like some fine tunements. I think everything we've
Mhm.
seen here is like a major jump, right?
Oh,
And so
yeah.
that
That's a
I
good point.
think Fallen Order is a strong foundation. Hot take, little
It's a little jank.
overrated. Still good,
Oh, yeah.
fantastic game.
It's a little rough around the
I don't
edges.
think it's the 10 people say it is. I think it's more like an
Mhm.
8.5, but I think Survivor has that capacity to be a 10 because
The potential
we're
is there.
taking everything up.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The potential is
100%.
there, and I'm excited for them to realize a lot of concepts that they wanted to be in the first game that they couldn't. That they talked
100%.
about,
Like
not being able to time, like
Yeah.
dismemberment and different combat stances and customization
Just-
were all things that were
Yeah.
supposed
I
to be
was
there
just
and
like-
weren't.
Just that customization alone. Like I was watching the Kind of Funny Games cast and they showed that. Like, holy cow.
Changing jackets,
Yeah.
you're changing the shirts underneath the jackets, the pants, the
BB-8.
haircut, the
You're
beard,
changing his
BB-8.
looks. Like
In your there's
BB1.
they've made
Sorry,
or,
BB1.
sorry, yeah,
My
BD1.
bad.
They've broken down all of the. There's like even more you can customize with the lightsaber now. It's like all of these like individual pieces on it and stuff, and it's just it looks stellar. I can't wait. I love the Assassin's Creed to Assassin's Creed 2. I think that's
Yeah.
the perfect way to put it. That's really really great. And yeah, that wraps up all of my announcements. Was there anything else that you boys wanted to say? Josh, I think you had something prepared.
All right.
Let me say
Hasbro, stop with this exclusivity bullshit. All right, we got. Thank you. We had some fire ass announcements in terms of figures. We always expect some reveals. right? We're getting a helmet with the Ahsoka Tano face, the orange face paint over the
The 212th,
phase.
I believe.
Yeah, 100%. And that looks fantastic. Obviously, Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary stuff. We got to repaint, reissue some old figures. Nothing new there. But everything cool is a fucking exclusive to some point. We're getting Battle Damage Grievous from Battlefront 2, GameStop exclusive. We're getting Darth Maul from Rebels essentially in his old master outfit.
Technically, technically it's Battlefront 2, and here's also my problem with that. The costume that they put on in Battlefront 2 is not exactly the costume that is in Rebels, and so for them to be like, no, here's the Rebels Maul. No, it's not. The Battlefront 2 one is different. Fuck you. But also, I will take
close
20.
Enough. Right? GameStop exclusive as well. But the one that hurt the most, I was waiting for this since we saw the teaser. Bad Batch Season 2 figures. All of them, except Omega, a Walmart exclusive. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Mainline figures, those like I don't mind if you take a couple and you make them Walmart exclusive. We got Rex and Imperial Crosshair, the Walmart exclusive for the first season, as well as Admiral, whatever the fuck. Fine with that. But the whole line is like, good luck finding these anywhere. Good luck tracking them down. Hopefully your local Walmart has one. I know a lot of them.
Basically
some people
made
are
it
saying
impossible.
repaints.
I've literally never been able to get my hands on a Walmart exclusive figure.
Yeah, and it hurts me. And so it's like, all right, Lucasfilm, if that's the case, you got to start licensing this shit out to Bandai for figure art stuff. I don't think Bandai gets to go to Celebration. I think there's probably some sketchy behind the scenes shit with Hasbro. Like Hasbro already, they're like, these are also 6-inch Star Wars figures. We want to focus on our shit, right? We got to focus on this shit. And so it's like, if that's the case, I would much rather pay $80 for a nice figure arts Crosshair, Hunter, Bad Batch, any of those, than pay $80 to some scalper who is like triple charging me the price of a goddamn Bad Batch figure. Like, please, for the love of God,
it's so annoying.
It is, and please also just let Bandai come to the shows. They have the cool samurai line, which that gets to get shown off because that is different enough from the rest of figure arts. But like a figure arts Andor is like about to get revealed any day now, and I can't wait.
I hope so.
This would have been the perfect time to do it. But yeah, hopefully they have some more fire announcements on May 4th. Their indie figures, fantastic.
Very
looks
good.
So good.
Everything Very I was good. Hoping for. We saw the first wave. We got the full reveal of I think wave 2 and 3, and it was like everything I was asking for. I was like, I want Raiders, Indiana Jones without the jacket, where he like shoots the dude with the sword. I want Temple of Doom, like almost battle damage Indy. That was there. Hasbro is killing it with Marvel. They're now killing it with Indiana Jones. Please
show Star Wars some love, man. I don't know why they're dropping the ball on it.
Literally. And so that was like the one disappointing thing about this entire weekend was just Hasbro dropping the ball. So hopefully 3 weeks time, y'all got something for May the 4th. But please, for the love of God, fix your shit, Hasbro.
Also, shout out to the Shop Disney exclusive Doc Ondar, who is a character that is specifically within Galaxy's Edge, who can go see in real life. They have an animatronic Doc Ondar within his store in the parks, and so they're making him a figure, and I'm very excited about that.
That's cool.
Because he'll go very well with my my Galaxy's Edge Hondo Ohnaka, Rey, and Chewbacca.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I want to make like a little Galaxy's Edge scene and 3D print like some stuff from around the parks. I think that'd be really fun. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. This, of course, has been no, hold on. This is the We just talked about Star Wars. The show's called This is the Waypoint. Thanks so much for being here. We're done. Bye. Fuck.